How the fuck do they do it? We see these fitness influencers staying ripped year round while getting bigger year after year. Meanwhile, we're over here struggling just to get abs. It's almost like they know something that we don't, or should I say something that you don't know. Because I've spent years of my life ascertaining the exact method to go from, you know, a pussy ass bitch to an alpha chad pussy slayer. So what is the secret formula that they don't want you to know? You know, I used to think that in order to build an amazing physique, you just needed to show up to the gym consistently, even when you didn't feel like it. Because if you're not willing to sacrifice for your dreams, then your dreams are going to become the sacrifice, right? So I was like, okay, what if I sacrifice a bit of pleasure today so I can live the rest of my life as a champion? Because when you consistently force yourself to do something that you don't want to do, it just becomes second nature to you. And so now you've changed your baseline state from, you know, choosing the easy loser path to being a champion on autopilot. Imagine what kind of effect this would have on your confidence. You know, the ability to know that when you say you're going to do something, that you're a man of your word, and so it's going to get done no matter what. Imagine what you could accomplish with this level of self-belief and self-discipline. Imagine how much more energy you would have and your zest for life, knowing that you're living each and every day to your fullest potential and getting closer and closer towards your goals.
Let him cook! Let him cook now! Let him cook! I said let him cook!
So I started attacking the gym like a savage, forcing myself to go, especially when I didn't want to go. And with that level of commitment, I definitely saw some fantastic results. But for some reason, whenever it came time to getting to a low enough body fat percentage to see my abs, I was just having so much difficulty. So this is when I started learning about body types. You know, I'm sure you know someone who can easily maintain single-digit body fat year-round without even trying. And then there's other people who are just constantly on a diet. And so what this comes down to is the fact that people tend to fall into natural body type categories. The first one is going to be an ectomorph. This is someone who's usually taller and who's lanky. They are very lean and it's hard for them to gain weight, especially muscle mass. And these are the quote-unquote hard gainers. The next category is going to be the mesomorph. This is like an athletic type body type. These people are also lean, but they hold more muscle mass. And this is kind of like the gold standard in terms of like bodybuilding metrics, at least. And then there's going to be the endomorph. Think of more like a power man or a strong man. But essentially these types, they can also build a lot of muscle mass and they can be very strong, but they tend to naturally sit at a higher body fat percentage. Now that's not to say that an ectomorph can't build muscle mass or that an endomorph can't get abs. It's just that it's going to be a lot harder for these types to do so because it's not what they're naturally suited for. So it's got me thinking, what if there's actually levels to this shit? You know, like, what if there are certain factors that are more important to getting into shape than actually working out? And so this is when I came up with the hierarchy of gains. And the most important level of this pyramid is going to be your genetics. As we talked about earlier, there's certain people who simply build more muscle mass than others, and that's just the way it is. But then there's the case of someone like Nick Walker. You know, how did he seemingly defy his genetics and go from an ectomorph to an absolute fucking mass monster? Well, that brings me up to the second most important level, which is your hormones. So obviously he hopped on a shitload of steroids to get to this level of mass, and I'm not suggesting that anyone go on steroids because not only are you liable to become infertile, but you're also liable to become dependent upon those injections as well. And even if you did hypothetically go on steroids, it's not even a guarantee that you're going to get anywhere near Nick Walker's level if you don't have the same genetic response to the drugs. And especially if you don't have the other three levels of the pyramid in check as well. But the point being that a superior hormonal profile is going to equate to a superior physique across the board. And if your hormones are, you know, out of whack, like they are for a lot of people, then it's going to be nearly impossible to actually capitalize on your hard work in the gym. But say your hormones are all good and you're training 6 days a week, but you're still not seeing the results that you want to see, and you have no idea why that is. Well, it's simply the fact that you can't out-train a bad diet. You know, if you want to lose weight, you need to make sure that you're eating less calories than you're burning, and if you want to gain weight, you need to make sure that you're eating enough calories. If, like most people, you have no fucking clue what your calories look like in comparison to your goals, then you're just going to end up going nowhere fast. And so this is why nutrition is actually ranked superior to training when it comes to developing an aesthetic physique. So once I realized that I was focusing all of my efforts on the lowest hanging fruit, training, I was finally able to take a look at some of the other more important factors like your hormones and your nutrition. And once I was able to correct these, it was like for once in my life, I was finally getting a fucking return on my investment in the gym. And so when I corrected some nutrient deficiencies and addressed my thyroid gland, which controls the metabolism, I found that I was finally able to get my body fat percentage low enough to actually get my abs to show. And when I was, able to double my testosterone naturally, I found myself being able to build muscle and, gain strength a lot easier. And when I naturally brought down my estrogen as well, I noticed I stopped storing so much stubborn fat in my chest and hips. Alright guys, so I hope you liked that video. If you want to learn more about your hormones, I have a bunch of guides that are really going to help you guys out. Links are going to be in the description. So that's going to be it for today. And as always, keep dreaming while you're awake. Peace.
You ever wonder what it feels like when dreams bleed into real life? Seen scenes from TV get realized. Palm trees, a soft breeze and chilled ice till tides wash away our problems in the spilled wine.